Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijete Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishacharachamu Rama Etasmai Namaha Ramannasti Parayanam Parataram Ramascha Dasosmyaham Rame Chittare Sada Bhautame Bhora Mama Buddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varadane Shri Rama Nama Varadana Om Namah Ati Shri Maheshwar Sutrani Ayun Rulruk Ayong Ayauch Ayabarat Dany Nyamanga Nanam Jabain Garadash Jabagaradash Kapha Chacha Chacha Tav Kapai Shashasar Hal Maheshwar Sutrani. But I don't know if all of you know, but there was a article by Karthik on the Maheshwar Sutrani. I hope you're looking at this. It's a very good article for the beginning students who wants to just getting started up. If you look on the right-hand side on the website, the avg-sanskrit.org, you can see this Maheshwar Sutrani article is a very good article by Karthik. So you can look at that and just get introduction with the Maheshwar Sutrani. So. Okay, today we're going to actually look at the Napumsalinga Pratipadikam, Adantam Pratipadikam, which is ending in short A. We did the Ajanta Pullinga Prakriya in brief. After that, we did the Ajanta Stilinga Prakriya. Now we are doing the Ajanta Pullinga Prakriya. This is in the order of the Siddhanta Kaumudi, because Ashtadhyaya as such, there is no such order as such. And within that, we follow the order of the Maheshwar Sutrani. So, Ayun Rulruk. We take the first, the Akaran Shabda. One more thing, quick reminder for you is that in the neuter gender, we don't have any Pratipadikam in the Napumsakalinga, which is going to be ending in a long vowel. Because there is a sutram which says that in the neuter, if there is a vowel at the end, it is made short. So, Rasva Napumsake Pratipadikasya. So it's Ashtadhyayi. I hope all of you are using the Ashtadhyayi. Rasvo Napumsake Pratipadikasya. So that is the, let's see. So 1247, Rasva Napumsake Pratipadikasya says that, in the Napumsakalinga, you get the shortening of the vowel at the end. So you will not have any Pratipadikam, which if it's ending in a long vowel for whatever reason, through compound or whatever it is, it's going to become short. So 1247 is put in the document. 1247 Rasva Napumsake Pratipadikasya. We will not there are no 1247. So there are no neuter. There is no neuter Pratipadikam. Pratipadikam, ending in a long vowel. Just like we saw in the feminine, there is no feminine form ending in a short vowel because you immediately get the sutram ajadyata shtap. So it immediately makes it a long A, it's apavada and become long E, but you will not have a three shabda ending in a short A. Okay, let's start with this word jnana. This is from dhatu from Nya Avabodhane. But right now we're not concerning ourselves how the Pratipadikam came or how it is derived. We're just trying to get the Subanta Prakriya. So Jnana plus Su is the of course by now all of us know the first thing to do is take the Pratipadikam and apply the sutram Su out just Ammaut Ityadi. So you get 4, 1, 2. So first step is going to be the same for every Pratipadikam. You take the Pratipadikam and add the appropriate Pratyaya, Su of just Jnana plus Su. Now at this point we don't know any rule, a special rule which would apply in this case. So we need something else to get our form is to derive is Jnanam. What you can also do is look at both ends. Now we can see we need the form Jnanam. We have the form Jnana plus Sa. We can of course do the Upadesha Jananachit, but that's the only rule that we know so far. So you should be able to say with confidence that by the rules that we know so far, you can only get to Jnana plus Sa. I'll get beyond that. That means we need another rule to look at that. Okay. Now this sutra document is also now uploaded onto the website, the ABG sanskritam.org website. So you can see it there. So today's first sutram is Atom. Atom. Now let's go to the Ashtadhyay for a quick second. This is all, as I mentioned to you, in the early part of 7.1. It's all these pratyaya adesha. These all the substitutions when the pratyayas change. What are substitutions take place? They are in the beginning of 7.1. So all the atobhisais and all these things are coming in this section. Okay, there is a sutram which actually 7.123 says Samo Napumsakat. It's not in today's document because we're going to be using 7.124, which is an apavada for 7.123. 7.123 should always be remembered. The moment you have a neutral prajapadikam, immediately think of Samo Napumsakat. Because the Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam Pratyaya Su and the Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam Pratyaya Tayoho looks yat. Samo Napumsakat. Then immediately is going to be removed. So this very important sutram 7.123, it applies to all any prajapadikam in Napumsakalinga. But there's a special apavada for that, which is 7.124. This again is the Panini style. He'll put the utsarga first, generally speaking, put the apavadas below that. Okay. Also good thing to remember, because if you know an utsarga, it's not giving you the right answer. Rupa siddharna bhavati chet, adho bhage drashtavyam. You can look below that. You might be able to find the apavada right below that. So atom. What is the vritti for that? Let's go to our document. It says atoangat. Atoanga means adantadanga. It's a visheshanam of the angam. Adantadangat. Klivat, which is a neuter gender. Somor syat. In place of su and we put Okay. Now quickly, what's the point of putting in place of Amsthani adesha. Tasya prayojanam kim. Okay, what's the use of that? The prayojanam is that should not undergo future change. Because if Panini did not say that, then you could have taken look by the prior sutram, Samo Napumsaka. So that's the idea of putting in place of is that to prevent it from undergoing, specifically if undertaking the look of the prior sutra. Okay, so you can be wondering what's the point of putting in place of Okay, now we've seen this also in another place when we saw that Sharpare Visarjaniha, where Panini puts the Visarga in place of Visarga. Sharpare Visarjaniha, just quickly, another place that we saw where Panini does an Adesha, which is the same as the Sthani. So Sharpare Visarjaniha, another case we saw that. So that means that Adesha should no more change after that. So that's something extra is being said by Panini. So now, Atoam. So by this sutram, now very simple, straightforward sutram, as I mentioned to you, this, the greatness of Panini is that it reduces this complex grammar into small bits which we can digest, which are simple, straightforward. Okay? So Atoam simply says, if you have Adanta Prajapadikam, Napumsakalinga Prajapadikam, Tataha, Samor Sthane, Adesha Bhavati. Okay, so that's all that we really need, and then we can do one sutram which you already know. So Jnana plus Su is, we are going to get this now, become Jnana plus by Atoam 7.124. And after that, we can now use our same sutram Ami Purvaha, because we have an Angam ending in Ak, and then we have the, actually we have Ak, which is not, Ami Purva is not in Angasya Dikara, so we shouldn't say Angam ending in Ak. But I guess we could say, because when is following me, that's a Pratyaha. So preceding Pratyaya only, Angam only really we can have. In any case, it's an Ak preceding, and then the Akara of Pura Parayoho Eka Deshaha. Pura Paradesha is a Pura Rupam, is a Purva Rupam, because Ami Purvaha. That is 61107. It's all in this document here. But thanks to Karthik for putting this document. So we have Jnana plus Su, Jnana plus equals Jnanam Ami Purvaha. Just like when we had Rama plus equals Ramam, or Hari plus become Harim, or Guru plus become Gurum. Same thing we have here also, Jnana plus becoming Ami Purvaha becoming Jnanam. So kind of straightforward. So make this Jnanam. Okay. 61107 Ami Purvaha. Okay, now when we take the, let's finish off the Sambuddhi. Ekvachanam Sambuddhi, Ekvachanam Sambuddhi. In the Sambodhanarthe, when you have to address somebody, only the Ekavachanam has a special form. From the same pratyaya su, au, just they come in there. But the su pratyaya, this takes a special name called Sambuddhi, Ekavachanam Sambuddhi. The sutram also we have seen. This online Ashtadhyayi is very, very handy. We can quickly check Ekavachanam Sambuddhi. So by 2349 it has got a special name. Okay. So when we take the Sambuddhi pratyaya over here, we can start, of course, with the Pradipadikam, Jnana plus Su, and this is the Sambuddhi pratyaya, Sambuddhi. Now let's see what all we can do here. Sambuddhi. Okay, now here also we can do the same sutram, Samovarna Punsakat. Next sutram, Atoam actually, Atoam. They will also come here because they didn't say Asambuddha or anything like that. So this is also pratyaya Su only. The same Atoam sutram which we used to derive the Prathama Ekavachanam, we can use this Sambuddha Opi. So we get the form. Let us do in, okay, let's do like this. Jnana plus 124. Okay. Now again, Ami Purvaha. Ami Purvaha. Ami Purvaha means that we have the up preceding, the akara of is falling, the Pura Parayoho Eka Deshaha. Let me just split it into two parts. I just make it like this one here. Have Jnana, plus So this is Ami Purvaha say that Pura Parayoho. In place of these two, this ak, preceding ak, and the falling akara of the So between these two, Pura Parayoha Ekadesha is the Pura Rupam, Ami Purvaha. So now we get the form Nya. Okay, like this we get Nyan plus plus Ami Purvaha. Okay, now the question comes is that we want to get the form He Jnana. Okay, now to do that we have to use Sutram 6169, the Sutram that we need. 6169, Eng Rasvat Sambuddhehe. Eng Rasvat Sambuddhehe is what we need. But now how can we use that over here? Can we use Eng Rasvat Sambuddhehe now? Because now what has happened is that we have done the Pura Parayoho Ekadeshaha. This is an Ekadeshaha. Okay, so this has a component of the Pradipadikam, the Yangam. It also has a component of Pratyaha. It's a mixture of two. What we need is a Angam ending in Hasvaha or in a Eng. Of course, Eng is not possible here. So Hasvantam Angam Asti Chet. So Sambuddhehe Hallupyate. So what I'm talking about Sutram 6169. Same Sutram when we used Rama plus Su. We did the Upadesha Janunasika It, and then we used the Eng Rasvat Sambuddhehe. Eng Rasvat Sambuddhehe. Eng Rasvat Sambuddhehe. If you look at the Vritti or Sutram, Eng Rasvat Sambuddhehe. If you quickly look at that, it's also a useful thing. You can quickly look at the Vritti from this Eng Rasvat Sambuddhehe. Okay. Is Engantad Rasvantad Cha Angad Hallupyate Sambuddheschet. So Engantad Rasvantad Cha Angad Hallupyate Sambuddheschet. Parantu Sampratam Rasvantam Angam Nasti Na Vidyate. We cannot say Rasvantam Angam because now we have combined an element of the Angam and the Pratyaya to get this Pura Parayoha Ekadeshaha. So now we need this another sutram to allow us to consider this akara, which really is a ekadesha between the part of the Angam and part of Pratyaya. We want to be able to consider this as the antya avayavaha of this Angam. So we want to be able to consider that Pura Parayoha Ekadesha. Can we consider that as the ending part of this Angam? If we can do that, then we can use the 6169 and then we'll be set. We'll be set with that. So for that we need the next sutram, which is in the document here. which says Antadivacha. Antadivacha. Look at the number of the sutram, 6185. 6185. So that is right below this when we start the adhikaraha of the ekaha pura parayoho. Ekaha pura parayoho. The very next sutram is Antadivacha. Antadivacha. Let's quickly look at the vritti of that. Antadivacha, 6185. You can go down here. Antadivacha. It's also an important concept. Let's see what it says. Yoyam ekadeshaha. So when it says ekapurayoho iti yo ayam ekadeshaha. Ekadesha, which is then this entire section which goes from 6184 for about 20-25 rules. That ekadesha which is done. Yoyam ekadesha vidhiyate sa purvasya antavat bhavati parasya adivat bhavati. It can be, so if an operation requires, there should be considered to be like a ending member of the prior or the beginning member of the latter. That operation can be done. That's what it's saying. Antadivacha. On the basis of this sutram 6185, now what we can consider this is that we can look at it like this now. We can make it yana plus the makaraha. So using Antadivacha 185. And now we can use the ing rasvat sambuddhehe. Ing rasvat sambuddhehe, because now we have rasvantamangam. So the ekadesha is antavat. So that's what allowed us to use, make it jnana plus ma. And then we can use 6169 ing rasvat sambuddhehe and remove the makara, the hal of the sambuddhi. So hallupyate sambuddheschet. The hal will be removed if it belongs to sambuddhi. And we saw ekavachanam sambuddhi. We saw that. So now we can use 616. This is a small technicality we have to be aware of, because otherwise we are stuck with the ekadesha in between there, and we don't have a rasvantamangam. So we have to use this sutra which Pani has given us, that the ekadesha is antadivat. Okay? So let's put that, and so we make it, we can put into brackets here. Hey, yeah, no. This is using 6169. It's all in document here. You can see Antadivacha ekapuro purayoho iti yoyam ekadeshaha sapurvasyantavat prasyadivat. Okay.
Satishji?
Yes.
Just innocuous thing which I have been wanting to ask. On the very first of, after we justifies the pratipatikam.
Yes.
When you bring in the su pratyaya,
yes,
typically we take the nasal ukara out by upadeshe ajannasikayate plus tasya lopaha.
Yes.
When the whole pratyaya is replaced by like atom.
Yes, then we don't need to do it, because the entire.
We don't see if you're this one. If I am answering a test question, give all the sutras. I don't have to put those two sutras there.
No, you have to, because the entire, because you have to be, see, one thing, you can just check the vritti, Vasu, because let's look at the vritti of atoam. Let's see what it says. Is this saying in the adesha in place of the sakara or in pratyaya of the su? It says ango kliva samor amsa. So in place of su and so the entire su is going to be replaced, So as long as it says that, you don't have to remove these letters out of that. No. So that's a simple thing. Okay. Now, so that's finished the sambuddhi. Now let's go on to the, it's all in document here. You put that, it's down here, Antadivacha. And so this akara will be considered as the final of the term jnana. Then we can use 6169, engasva sambuddhe here. Okay. Now let's go to the prathama vibhakti dvivachanam. Let's see what we have there. Prathama vibhakti dvivachanam. Here we will start with, as usual, the appropriate pratyaya, which is jnana plus au, su aujas. One more thing I might have mentioned right now is that when you look at the napumsalinga pratipadikani, the prathama rupani and dvitiya vibhakti rupani, so stayo sadrishyam vartate. They'll be similar. They'll be same almost. They'll be the same. Once in a while, you may have some alternate forms in the dvitiya, right? We'll have alternate forms. But prayena, so yad rupam prathamayaha tadeva rupam dvitiyayaha. is only same form. Because why is that? Now we will see why that is. Because even though pratyas are, su, au, jas, out, shas, because samo, napumsakat, and atoam, that su and are treated equally, treated the same way. Su, so maybe I can put this comment over here, very helpful going forward, that in the neuter form, as a general rule, the same form will be there. The same form will be in the nominative and accusative case. Because of the okay, now why is that? Let's look at that. First sutram that we already saw, because of 7.1.24.25, which we just saw, which is samo napumsakat atoam. Whether it's su or sam doesn't make a difference. It gets the same adesha. Either takes look, or if it's adantam angam, it becomes am. So that equates the two as far as the neutral is concerned. Okay? The next sutram which you're about to see just now, which you'll be seeing shortly, is this aunga shisya. This aung is another sanya for the au and out. So both of them take the adesha shi. So there also, 719 is going to treat those two equally. In any case, they're equal anyway, but moreover the shi adesha comes, so that is fine, 719. So because between the au and the out, as we saw in the daily examples, there is no real difference. The takara of out is only to make the pratyahara sut. It's not visheshana. It is not really visheshanartham. Okay, and then what happens is that we're going to see the one more sutram, which is going to be jas, shaso, shi. So in case of jas and shas, the shi comes equally as an adesh of both of them. So that is the reason why in the neuter, no matter what pradipatikum you take, because of this jas, shaso, shi, and also because of the samo, napumsakat, and atuam, they're going to have the same form. Now, once in a while, you may have some alternate forms and special rules. But there will be a form, generally speaking, which will have the same, in the Dvitiya Vibhakti, there will be the same Rupam as in Prathama Vibhakti. Okay? So just put that over here. Useful thing to know. There's no point of, deriving both of them. If you know one of them, you got the both of them. So sometimes the accusative may have alternate forms. Okay. Now let's go to the. So all we're going to do today really is derive only this, particularly Jnana Shabdaha, from Titiya Prabhuti Ramavat Vattate Prakriya. Titiya Prabhuti, from the instrumental case onwards, the Prakriya of Jnana Shabda is like Ramavat. So now our job is very easy because I just told you that the Prathama and Dvitiya, same forms. Sambuddhi already finished. So now we only need two more forms. And this Jnana Shabda is done first. All you need to do is now derive the Prathama Vibhakti Dvivachanam and the Bahuvachanam. Once you do those two, Dvitiya is the same form as Prathama. Titiya Prabhuti Ramavat. So that's going to be easy. Okay, let's go to this one. Jnana plus Au. See what we can do now. Okay, so there the sutram is here, Napumsakacha. Napumsakacha. Okay, let's not lose sight of the Ashtadhyayi order. We go to 7.1.19 in the Ashtadhyayi. 7.1.19. Look at Anuvritti is coming from where? Because Aunga Apa, because we have just a she which we already used when we did the word Sarva in the masculine. We got Sarve. Aunga Apaha. Right? So we got when Abanta, when we had the Rama Shabdaha, right? So we had Aunga Apaha, we use that. And then because we got the word Rame, Dvitiya, the Prathama Dvitiya Dvivachanam. And then Napumsakat Cha. The same thing that we got into when we had the Avanda Pradipadikam, here also Napumsakat Cha, same thing happens. So the Aung, which stands for another sanya for the Au and the out, that takes the Shi Adeshaha. Of course, the Aung has only, the Au or the out is only one, the Sthani, which is the item being replaced, has only one Al, only one letter. So there's no, even though we can look at the Alontyasya and all, we don't need any of those. Remember, when we look at any Adeshaha, we always have to immediately think of 1152 to 1155. Alontyasya, the next three rules are special rules. So we have to think about it. But if the sthani is only one al, only one letter, there is no choice. There's no choice. Parjaya nasti, no choice. So no, we don't need to look at any of these rules. And the sthani is only single letter. There's no other possibility. Okay, so we can use this sutram Napumsakacha 719 and make the Shi Adeshaha. Shi Adeshaha. Okay, but now comes a complication. So let us use. So this was 412, and then we can make it. I'm sorry. Jnana plus Shi 7119. Okay. Now when the Shi becomes a pratyaya, we can use Lashak Patadhite. So Anubandha Lope. Get Jnana plus E. So I can just maybe copy this. Jnana plus E becomes Anubandha Lope. Okay. Now comes a situation which we have not had to face so far, but we have to now face it now, which is, we'll see what happens. It's a very, very important fundamental concept. In this case, it looks like more of a nuisance for us, but these are very important ideas which are going to be very helpful when we study further. So right now, it is a bit of a nuisance, but let's see what's coming. What happens is that whenever we have any Suadi Pratyaya, Swadi means goes from where to where. It's not just this Suadi means up to this Pratyaya Sup. It also includes actually a very large set of Pratyayas, all the way to the end of the 5th chapter of the Ashtadhyaya. It's called, so for the purpose of 1417, 1418, which we should look at now in a second. Okay, we'll put it over here. Okay. In 1417, we will define a Padasanya also. But so far we know Supting Antam Padamu. That is true, but that's not the only sutram which defines, which gives a Padasanya. This is also a very important sutram, which also gives a Padasanya. 1417, it says Swadishva Sarvanamasthane. Swadishva Sarvanamasthane. Swadishu Asarvanamasthane. Let's keep that sutram in view. So that sutram says if we have a Swadi Pratyaya. Okay, let me finish this footnote over here. So one verse 1417, 1418, the Suadi Pratyaya, the Su, etc., refer to all the affixes, all the Pratyaya, which are defined, which prescribed from, of course, our usual sutram 412, but all the way to the end of the 5th chapter, to the end of chapter 5. And that's more than 1,000 rules, It's more than 1,000 rules. So particularly, it has 2 sections in there. If you look at the 412 and what comes below that, I'll tell you why it's very important, because below Su, I will just immediately start Striyam Adhikaraha. So all the feminine affixes, if any Shabda has to be used in Striyam, it has to pass through this routine. The Striyam Adhikaraha. And then from 4176 starts the Tadhitaha. So that's a huge section that goes all the way to the end of chapter 5. It's a very large section, very large end of chapter 5. So it's going to be, that itself has more than 1,000 rules. So any Tadhita Pratyaya is also included in the Swadi. So all Sri Pratyaya, Tadhita Pratyaya, Swadi Pratyaya. So now you know why this is a very important concept. So now how come we didn't need this before? How come we needed Rama Shabdaha and all that? How come we didn't need this concept? Because there also, when we had a Swadi Pratyaya, which was not Sarvanamasthani, because Swadishu Asarvanamasthani. Okay. Then there also, if we had the Padasanya as a default, 1417, but there was no Padasanya Sambandhi Karyam Nasit. There was no special work to be done based on the Padasanya in the case of all the Shabda which you have seen so far. There was no special work to be done based on that sanya. That's why even though the padasanya was there, we didn't have to pay attention to that. Doesn't mean padasanya was not there. It was still there. You say Rama plus Bis, for example. When the pratyaya Bis is falling on the pratyaya, Bhyam is falling on the pratyaya, Bhya is falling. In all those cases, that Rama Shabda had the padasanya, but there was no karyam to be done. But now we have to see the next sutram, Yachibham. That was 1417 is the default, which says that when you have a Swadi pratyaya, which is not Sarvanama Sthanam. Sarvanama Sthanam is which one we also going to see today. There are two sutras for that, which is Shi Sarvanama Sthanam, Svanapumsakasya. So Shi Sarvanama Sthanam. So keep this also in the back of your mind. Shi Sarvanama Sthanam and Svanapumsakasya. So let's see. That will be in the come in the first chapter itself. Okay, here it was. Shi Sarvanama Sthanam, Svanapumsakasya. So the pratyaya Shi. She is going to be an adesha for Jas and Shas. We're going to see shortly in a second. And Sud Anapumsakasya. Sud Anapumsakasya. So in the, when it's a feminine or masculine Pratipadikam, when Su out Jas out, these five, they get the Sanya Sarvanama Sthanam. And Sarvanama Sthanam is a Sanya for the Pratyayaha. Sarvanama Shabdaha, pronouns, is a Sanya for the Pratipadikam. Okay. So barring these, if there's any other Pratyayaha, which is Suadi, which is from 412 to end of chapter 5, then the Angam will start off by getting a Padasanya. Okay. But next sutram says Yachibham. Yachibham says that if you have a Yakaradi Athva Ajali Pratyayaha, this is just to alert you to the fact that the Swadi is not just the sup up to Sup. Because in the Sup Pratyaya there is no Yakari Pratyayaha. So in the Sup Pratyayashu, Yakari Pratyaya Nasti eva. There is no Yakari Pratyaya. But the fact that Panini is saying Yachibham, that itself tells you that the Suadi must extend beyond just 412. Otherwise the Yakara will not make any sense in Yachibham. So what does 1418 say? If that Swadi Pratyaya, which is not Sarvanama Sthani, the entire anuvritti of the sutram comes down into 1418. The Swadishva Sarvanama Sthani, iti sarvam anuvartate. It all comes down here. So if you Yakaradi Athva Ajadi Swadi Pratyaya asti chet, Asarvanama Sthani. Tadhi tarhi angasya bhasanya bhavati. Again, these all these short sanyas are given by Panini. These are for his own creation. Ghi, Ghu, Bha, T, all of these are for his own creation. The long sanya, like Sarvanama Sthanam, Parasnai Padam, all these are all probably Purva Acharya Anurodhena. Purva Acharya Anurodhena. In keeping in with the Purva Acharyas, he's probably kept them. But anyway, so Yachibham is telling us that if we have a Yakari Pratyaya or Ajadi Pratyaya, then the Anga gets Bhasanya. One more quick topic over here is that why can we keep both? Because this, in our example right now, we have Jnana plus E. This Jnana has Sanya Pratipadikam Sanya it has because of the Sutram, Arthavadadhatu Pratyayaha or Krutrita Samasascha, right? It also has the, it also has the Sanya of Angam it has, Then why can we also keep this Pada and Bhasanya together? Sahacharyam. Why can't we do that? The reason for that is that because in 1.4 on Panini says Akadarad Eka Sanya. Akadarad Eka Sanya. Up to the word Kadara. So Kadara comes in the end of 2.2. The last sutram I think is that one. Nishtha, 2. Kadara Karmadhare. So in 1.4, 2.1, 2.2, any sanya which derived, if there are two sanyas which are coming in this derived, which are defined in 1.4, 2.1, 2.2, then they both cannot exist simultaneously unless something is specifically said by Panini. But so now which one do we keep? Right? And the answer to that is Ya Parasanya Anavakasha Cha. This sanya which is coming in a later rule and which has a smaller domain than the other sanya. In fact, in this case, we have both. So 1.4, 17, 18, Yachibham is a later rule than Swadishva Sarvanamasthani. Okay, and it has a smaller domain because Swadishva Sarvanamasthani didn't say anything about with the pratyay ajadi, haladi, nothing. Any swadi pratyay, I mean, it follows padasanya bhavati. This one is a subdomain of that. Only when it's a yakaradi or ajadi pratyay following, then it is a bhavasanya. So this is a smaller domain. If you don't give it a chance, it will not have any avakasha. It will have no opportunity. So that's the reason why this padasanya and bhavasanya cannot coexist. Because of this, we are in the ekasanya adhikaraha. So put this in our document quickly. Okay, now from 141 to end of 22, end of 22 is the ekasanya adhikaraha. Is the adhikaraha of the 411. I'm sorry, 141, which is ekasanya. Ekasanya. So only one sanya can stay. Akadara ekasanya. Okay, so that is also. These are all going to be very important concepts when you look back. See, these are very fundamental concepts because you can imagine when you add any sthira pratyaya, when you add any tadisa pratyaya, immediately you have to check whether the angam has the padasanya by the sutram Swadishva Sarvanamasthane athva bhasanya. Yadi yakaradi pratyaya asti athva ajadi asti chet swadi, tarhi bhasanya bhavati. Now, one more thing quickly is that if you get the bhasanya, I'm going a little bit beyond today's class, but if you get so what if you get the bhasanya? What's the big deal? The big deal is that from 64129, Panini starts the adhikara bhasya. So these are this bhasa, when the anga takes the bhasanya, they are now liable to all his operations in the bhasya adhikara from 64129. So when the bhasanya comes, it immediately calls his routine. This subroutine is called a computer program, If bha, then this. So if bhasanya, then all of these from 64129 to end of 64, they all are triggered by the bhasanya. Similarly, if you have padasanya, then that calls a different subroutine, which is going to be from the 8116, I believe it is, padasya adhikaraha, 8116, and that goes through 8354. So 8354. So these are the two routines which get called when you have the padasanya or the bhasanya. So they go in two different places, So two different sets of operations come into play. So we put that also in the document here. Is that the bhasanya triggers, maybe I'll put it in the reverse, padasanya, because that's in the order of the Panini definition. So padasanya. The padasanya, this will trigger the set 81, the padasya adhikara, which is from 8116 to 8. This is just an overview. We don't need this today. But these are good things to keep in mind. And on the other hand, the bhasanya will trigger the adhikara from 6-4. It's called the bhasya adhikara. Either bhasya or padasya to end of 6-4. Actually, we do need one. Today, actually, we do need one of these adhikara because we're going to get the bhasanya now. We got the bhasanya. Again, in Rama Shabdaha, why do we not need to do any of this? Because there was no sutram in the bhasya adhikara or the padasya adhikara, which was applicable at that time. So the sanya did call those routines, but since there was nothing there to apply, we didn't have to look at the sanya at that time. See, we are following what's this Siddhanta Kaumudi style. We want to derive Rama Shabdaha. So even though there may be rules which are going to, sanya which might come into play, if we don't need those at that time, we didn't take them because they were not required to derive the forms. So we are doing the Prakriya method. Okay, if you do the Ashtadhyaya method, you've seen them even at that time also you've seen those. Okay, but now we have to deal with this sanya. When the Jnana plus E, remember one more thing, that the Sarvanama Sthanam is Shi Sarvanama Sthanam, which is going to be only the Bahuvachanam, in the neuter, only the Prathama, Dvitiya, Bahuvachana Pratyaha. You get Sarvanama Sthana Sanya. The next sutram Sudanapumsakasya. Sudanapumsakasya. Sudanam means Sud Anapumsakasya. So sud anapumsakasya. So in anapumsakasya. So that su out just outs are only in the masculine and feminine. So in case you're wondering, why this is not sarvanama sthana pratyaya. So we got the bhasanya. So we get now, jnana gets bhasanya. This jnana has bhasanya. Okay, so now there is a sutram in this bhastya adhikaraha, which would have created a problem for us right now. We would have had a problem. So, and that brings in this sutram yasyaticha. This is an extremely important sutram. I cannot overemphasize that. This is an extremely important sutram, 64148, which is right now only a nuisance for us. But you're going to see a lot of this one coming later on. So later on, when we look at other things in Taditas, to give a quick example to you, if you look at a word like Gaura, Gaura becomes Gauri. Very simple. Because if you take Gaura at the Pratyaya, the long E, then you would have had Guna Adesha. But you don't want that. You want to make it Gauri. So there are many examples where the 64140 is going to be very important for us. But right now, if you use the wrong form, what is 64148? Look at this quickly. It says Yakaradishu. So this is Yachibham. We already saw this one. Yakaradishu, Ajadishu, Kapratya. What is Kapratyavadishu? Kapratyavadishu is that the last 10 rules in 5.4, they talk about Kapratya. Because Swadi means ending up to where? Ending up to where? Remember these Adhyaya numbers what came after Panini. They were not at Panini's time. So in the Vritti it says Kap Pratyavadishu. Kap Pratyaya is this one. Kap comes in 54151 from the Pratyaya Kap. So up to this Pratyaya, and it goes up to end of the 5th chapter, which is 54160. So basically, as I said to you already, the Swadi Pratyayas include up to the end of 5th chapter. Okay, that's what's meant by the Kap Pratyavadishu means Panchama Adhyaya Samapti Paryantam, up to the end of 5th chapter. Okay, so we get, let's see what we have. Okay, then when any other, excluding the Sarvanama Sthanam, any other affix from Su up to that end of 5th chapter follows, which begin with Yakara or Ach, Anga gets Bhasanya, and then we already did that. Now, Yasya Ticha. So, Yasya, that Yasya is a samasa between the E and the A. This means E varnantasya, A varnantasya, Angasya. We are in the Angasya Adhikara. Please don't forget, the Angasya Adhikara goes from 641 to end of 74. 641 to end of 74. I think I mentioned to you before, the biggest risk of doing what we are doing, we means Siddhanta Kaumudi route, is you lose the side of the Ashtadhyaya. That can make you make some very big blunders. Even learned scholars sometimes make big blunders because of the fact that we only go Siddhanta Kaumudi, forget the Ashtadhyaya order. So always keep track of where you are in Ashtadhyaya. So Yasya Ticha, and that is in the Angasya Adhikara. That Yasya is between the, it is a compound, means the E and A, that become Yan Sandhi in the compound. It means, and it's a Visheshanam for the Angasya. It's a Visheshanam of the Angasya. So we start from 641 to end of 7 chapters, Adhikara. Adhikara means that's the topic, that's the heading. So that presents, for every sutra in that section, that Angasya comes and presents itself. It's all within the topic of Angasya. So this becomes the Visheshanam for the Angasya. So it becomes that because Yena Vistadantasya, right? So when you say, we also saw this paribhasha before, we say that Yena Vidhi. So when the Visheshanam is given, it becomes, there's a term ending in that. A term ending in that. So there's Yena Vistadantasya. Okay, Yena Vidhi. Okay. This says that, so 1172 says that, if there's a Visheshanam, an adjective by which a rule is prescribed, then that rule refers to a term ending in that. That Yasya was an adjective of the Angasya. So it means an Angam ending in the E or A means E varna or A varna means long or short E or long or short A. It takes lopaha. It takes lopaha when it takes lopaha if it has a bhasanya. And E teacher, anuvritti of tadhyata is coming down. So ikare, that's the iti. Yasya iti cha. So ikare tadhite, this anuvritti coming down. Tadhite cha pare. Bhasya ivarna varnayor lopaha. Okay, now what do we have right now? Let's see what we have. Right now we have the jnana plus e, and this one does have the this one does have the bhasanya. It is also avarnanta. So everything is satisfied, and now we can now get the lopaha of the akar lopaha praptaha, which is anishta lopaha praptaha, which we don't want that lopa to take place. We need something to stop this sutam yasyeti cha. One more time quickly. How do we get to yasyeti cha? We got here because the angam got the bhasanya, because the pratyaya following is a swari pratyaya. It is not a savanamasthan pratyaya and begins with an ach. By yachibham, we got the bhasanya. When the bhasanya came, then we had to go to the section from 64129 to end of 64, and there Sutram 64148 is telling us that if the angam has bhasanya and the pratyaya following is a long ikaraha, is what we have right now, or tadhita. Tadhita starts from 4176. We are right now using 412. With tadhita pratyaya nasti. But dirgha ikara asti. Tasmat karanat angasya antyasya akarasya lopaha praptaha. It gives us the anishta lopaha. We don't want that. So now what do? Now we need something to stop that. So what we're going to have to do now is there is a vartikam under that sutram. If we go quickly to the Ashtadhyayi, if you look at 64148, so we are in the Bhasya Adhikara. In fact, let me also quickly show you where we're getting the Tadhite. So see, from this 64144, Nivritti of Tadhite was coming down from 64144 Tadhite. So when you say Yasya iti cha, is Tadhite ikare cha pare. Ivarnantasya avarnantasya bhasanyakasya angasya lopasyat. Alontyasya, so only the ending will take lopaha. So under 64148 now, Katyayana puts a vartikam there. Puts a vartikam. That when this sutram should not apply. You can see if you can find the vartikam here. Here. Yasya iti aungashyam pratishedo vaktavyaha. So kande. So when this she, which has come as an adesha for aung, okay, so means the napumsakacha, by sutram, when that comes, then this sutram 64148 should not be allowed to apply. Patishedham should be stopped. So aunga shyam, so aunga in place of aung, shyam, means shyam is saptami of she. So when the pratyaya which is following is the she pratyaya, is adesha for aung. When that is following, then patisheda vaktavyaha. Then this sutram will not apply. So that's the vartikam they put in the document here. That aungashyam. So 64140 does not apply when the following term is she. That comes as an adesha in place of the aung, which is our out, when the pusakacha. So by the vartikam, we can now say that we do not apply 64148, and once that is from so 64148 is stopped by the vartikam. Stopped by the vartikam. Okay, and this vartikam is this one over here. I can take it from this document here. Aungashyam tishedo vaktavyaha. Again, right now it looks like a big headache for us to, introduce this vasanya and then introduce the yasya teacher and then take the vartikam and then, nothing is happening. But this vasanya and the padasanya by 1417 as well as yasya teacher are extremely important rules. They're going to be very important as we go forward. So let us accept them right now. Because after what has happened is that if you don't talk about them now, once you learn these rules later, you will be wondering why they didn't apply at that time when we were doing Jnana Shabda. Okay? Okay, so now this 64148 is stopped. Of course, then we can now do, let's go through our usual rules, which is that, we have to do ad gunaha, then we have pratamayoha pura savarnaha, but naditi. So we have so all that is coming. So only thing left to do now is ad gunaha. Ad gunaha. So we get jnane. The final form is jnane. So it was really easy because only a two-step process, but we got the bhasanya in between. We talk about this. Yes, teacher had to be stopped. The final form is jnane. That's only 6187 ad gunaha. Okay, so that's what we have here in the sutra document. So jnana plus shi by napumsakacha, jnana plus e, which is the lashakvatadjite, and jnane. Okay, now only thing we need one last form, and we are done with jnana shabda. Because titiya prabhuti, it's going to be like rama shabda. Titiya prabhuti by rama shabda. So just shashoshihi, just shashoshihi. Now simply this is Anantaram Sutram. It's the next Sutram after the Napumsakacha. Anuvrutti of Napumsakad is coming down. So Klibat, Anayoho means Jash Shashoho, Shasoho. Shihi Adeshasyad. Yeah, fix just and Shi. I'm sorry, just and Shas. Just and Shi, which is the Pratama Bahuvachanam, Dvitiya Bahuvachanam. She as the Adeshaha when they follow a neuter angam. So when we do the jnana plus just atva shas, again we just put just because it's going to be the same form. So this is another reason why the prathama and dvitiya rupani, samanani bhavanti, be the same. Okay, so let's put jnana plus just or atva shas. That is, of course, by 412 as usual. And that brings us to the question here for us is that now the she, how about alone gesture? What do you think, Karthik, alone gesture?
Alone gesture.
Anekash is sarvasya, right? So,
but it has the shakara sahit letter.
So, yeah, but the question is that when does shakara become in its letter?
Only after the replaces. Yeah.
Exactly. So shakara is in its letter only when it gets the pratyaya sanya, pratyaya. Because right now this just shasoho shihi is 7.1. So until it becomes lashakvatadjite, if you look at the sutram quickly, lashakvatadjite, that only makes gives the it sanya when you have a pratyaya. So la shaku is pratyayadi, and that also should be non-tadita pratyaya. So it doesn't apply. So lashakvatadjite only for pratyayasya. So until the she comes in as an adesha for the jas or the shas, it is not a pratyaya. Sthani vadbhavaha, paschat bhavati. After the adesha is done, then only sthani vadbhavaha becomes a pratyaya. But right now, when you're looking at it just as an adesha avasthayam, means before, so adesha karanat puram, before it comes as an adesha, shakarasya itsanya nasti. If you apply same sutram, you only apply the anekashit sarvasya, but anekaltvat sarvadesha, natu shitvat. It is coming as a sarvadesha because the talaveshaka and ikara, there are two alls in the adesha. Anekal adesha becomes sarvadesha. The talaveshaka will only get the itsanya after the adesha is done. Then becomes the sthanivat bhava pratyaha. Then lashakvatadjite. Small technicality, but interesting one is that while it is not replaced the pratyaya yet, it is still only it's not a pratyaya. It is still anekal. So that's why it is going to come in the place of the entire sthani. So we use the same sutram, anekachit sarvasya, but anekaltvat sarvadesha. So 155. So let's do that. So we get in place of this, we get jnana plus she, and this is by 7120, and also the anekasha sarvasya. We put in bracket because this she is anekala. Anekaladishah. Okay, so that's what it is, and once we have that, now we can use the lashakvataditya because sthanivad adesha anal vidhav. So this has the sthanivad bhava because just and shasya the pratyaya sanya because pratyaya parascha adhikara goes from chapter 3, 4, 5. So just and shas came in 4, 1, 2. So the she has sthanivad bhava. Now we can use 1, 3, 8 and make it jnana. That's E. The question here, Ravi, why don't we have the problem of the yachibham here also? What do you think, Ravi, if you're there? Okay, I guess. How about Kartik, what do you think?
Because it is Sarvanama Sthana.
It's Sarvanama Sthana. It's Sarvanama Sthana. So 1, 4, 8, 17, 18 it says Swadishu was Sarvanama Sthane. Swadishu was Sarvanama Sthane. So even though this pratyaya is ajadi, the angam will not get the either the. So what's in does it have padasanya in Kartik, or what does it have?
It just has the anga sanya. It won't have any other sanya.
Correct. It has no padasanya nor bhasanya. So you cannot call that subroutine of bhasya or padasya. It only has, it's a pradipadikam, of course. It has the anga sanya. That's it. So bhasanya pinasti, padasanya pinasti. So that problem of yasya teaching will not come over here, because anyway it will also not come. Why would not come anywhere, Kartik? Anyway, even if it had bhasanya.
It's not Swadi Pratyaya.
No, but anga is bhasanya, right? So, but why? Because yasya we have the avarnant angam we have. That's only tadite ikare. This is only short e. So even if the angam had bhasanya, still that yasya will not apply. This is short e. But anyway, the angam has neither bhasanya nor padasanya because it's only asarvanam sthani. Okay, so we are done with that. Okay, now comes a special rule. So now we can, of course, we only know ad gunaha only we could have done so far. But there is a special rule, which let's look at that special rule, which says that that rule says, we looked at this one already, Shi Sarvanama Sthanam. We looked at that this Shi, which is an Adesha or just for Shas in Napumsakat, that is a Sarvanama Sthana Sanya. We talked about that today. And then what we get is Napumsakasya Jalachaha. Napumsakasya Jalachaha. What does Sutram say? Jalantasya, Ajantasya cha, Klibasya, Num Syat. Savanama sthane patte pareo. See, the num agamaha comes in place of comes to the angam, which is a neuter, and which ends either in a jal or an ach. A jal or an ach. So what do we have right now? We have, let's go to Ashtadhyayi from 7172. Napumsyak jalachaha. Okay, so this is the section of the num agamaha. From 7158 starts idito num dhatoho. From there starts the num agama section. Okay. We are in 7172. But that's only Savanama Sthani Pareya. So because of Shi Savanama Sthanam, now we do have Napumsakamangam and we do have a also an Ajantamangam. So we're going to get a num agamaha. The num is prescribed. Now the num, where do we put the num? For that we require the next sutram, which says, maybe we'll put the document right here, at, it's by 7172. 7172, we get a num, for the angam, num augment. For the angam jnanam. Okay. Now the question comes: where should we put this? Where should we put this num augment now? Because the rule that we know so far says adyantau takitau. only 1146 says Adyantau Takitau. Ayam Agamaha tu Tittapi Nasti, Kittapi Nasti. Kutra Stapitavyaha. Stapitavyaha. So let's see where we have to put this one Agamaha. So that requires the next sutram, which says Midachontyat paraha. Midachontyat paraha. Mid achontyat. Mid if this argument has more than it, achaha antyat paraha. Yes, thank you, Hema. Correct. Midachontyat paraha. Yes, correct. So 1147 is the sutram that we need over here because we could not use the Arjanta Takitau. The Anantaram Sutram, the very next Sutram is saying that we have to, if that agama has more than it comes right after the last ach of the term that it's going to. So right now we are taking this agama and putting it on the angam jnana. Jnana. In the jnana, we have only two ach, the akaraha and the akaraha. So the last ach, anti ach, is the nakara uttaravarti akaraha. The akara coming after that na, that is the last ach. So this mit agamaha is going to come right after that. And you know that agama becomes a part and parcel of that. So now the angama is going to become jnanan. Jnanan. So it says acha madhyeyo antyaha. Among all the ach of that of the term in the shashti, in that what is the ending ach? You take that one. Tasmat paraha. Right after that. In this case it's all akara in that jnana, that ending o. Tasmat paraha. Tasya eva anta avajavaha. The ending avajavaha of that mit syat. So basically that becomes an. That becomes like an an. So that's what happens. So this is a Gita example given in the document here. Now by this Paribhasha Sutram, by 1147, now so what we get now is we get Nyahanan plus E. So here we use the Napumsikasya Jalataha along with the Dajwan Chasparaha. These are also very important rules. So from now on, we know that Agamaha, if it stirs in it, it goes to the beginning. If it stirs in it, it goes to the end of the term it's prescribed to. If it is more than it, it will go after the last vowel of the term it's prescribed to. The term is Shashti, which is that's where it goes. So that's what we've done. So Jnanan plus E. Now the next sutram which you need to use, we have already learned that before. Savanama sthane chasam buddho. Savanama sthane chasam buddho. That is a 618 when we did, we already had it before. Let's see what we had. So 618, 64, 648. So when you have the nakarantam, right, and then no upadhayaha. So the upadhaya of the nakaraha gets dirghaha. When you pratyaya following a savanama sthana pratyaha, it's not sambuddhi pratyaya. Remember, sambuddhi only ekvachanam sambuddhi. Ekvachanam sambuddhi. So we are in bahuvachanam right now. So this chasam buddha has no meaning for us right now. So even when you look at the sambodhanarthi also, it becomes jnanani only. It's only that ekvachanam only is sambuddhi. Okay. So sarvanama sthane chasam buddha by 648, we get the upada dirghaha. It comes jnanani. This is sutram you already saw before. Okay. So let's see. Because when we got the anang for the sakhan, when we got sakhan, that time we used the savanama sthane chasam buddha. We had used. If you go back to this document, let me see. Maybe I can search for this one. Savanama sthane chasam buddha 648. We already had. Let's see. No. Okay, let me go back here. When we did the Pradipadikam Sakhi, we got the Anangadesha. And there, once we got Anangadesha, we got Sakhan. And after that, we used the Savanama Sthane Chasam Buddha. If you look at that, there was a few classes back. But we have used the sutram before. I know we have used it before. Let's see. Okay, here it comes. Achoniti, Sakura Sambuddho. It's what? Okay, here it is. Here when we had the second Sakhi Pratipadikam, because Anangadesha, after we have used Savanamastane Cha Sambuddho. So same thing here. We had Jnanan plus the E. Of course, because we are in the Napumsakam, we have only the She Sarvanamasthana. Sarvanamasthana Cha Sambuddho was 648. We have to do the Upada Dikha. And that completes this form. So we get the Upada. The Upada means you take the ending letter. Alon Kya Pura Upada. So Upada is also Sanya. In the Ashtadhyayi, we can see this. This is very nice Ashtadhyayi, which is online. So any of these questions that we have, we can quickly, find the answer. Let's see. Upada, unfortunately, Upada is a common term. So Alon Kyat Pura Upada. So the penultimate letter is Upada. So it's 1165 along with the 648, and that completes this form, and we get ni. Okay, so 648 along with 1165. Okay, that completes Jnana Shabda, because from the Titiya onwards, it's going to be Ramavat. So the same forms. So we get Jnanena, Jnanabhyam, Jnanaihi. Then we get Jnanaya, Jnanabhyam, Jnanebhyaha. Then we get Jnanat, Jnanabhyam, Jnanebhyaha, Jnanasya, then Jnanayoho, Jnananam. Of course, we don't get the nat from here, Nimittam Nasti. Then Jnane, and then we get the Jnanayoho, Jnanesho. Remember one thing, by the way, is that the Saptami Ekvachanam also being Jnane. So is the Prathama and Dvitiya Dvivachanam. But one thing which has, of course, the context will tell you which one it is. Remember one more thing is that because of the Eid, Ude, Dvivachanam Pragriham, that Jnane in the Prathama and the Dvitiya, that ending A, is a Pragrihya Sanya. That will not do that undergo Sandhi Karyam. If you see this Jnane or Vane not undergoing Sandhi Karyam at the end, that is the hint for you. But this is the Dvivachana Pratyaha and not the Saptami Ekvachanam. Okay? This is one thing you can remember. The forms are the same. Jnane in Saptami Ekvachanam and the Prathama Vibhakti Dvivachanam, Dvitiya Vibhakti Dvivachanam forms are the same. Okay. So now that completes this Jnana Shabda. Of course, you'll get some practice exercises. I hope you're following it online when you get the examples of the day. Now we take one more Vishesh Shabda for today. Only one more form that we have to look from these documents is the word Katara. Now, when we decline the Sarva Shabda and neuter, so Sarvam, Sarve, Sarvani, the Prathama Dvitiya will be like the Jnana Shabda, and then the remaining will be like the Sarva Shabda in the masculine. So if you put that over here, okay, first of all, from the Titya Prabhuti, Prakriya, Ramodat Prakriya, Rama Shabdavat Prakriya, Vartate. Okay, and then when we look at the Sarva Shabdaha, it's also nothing new because we already know all the forms. Sarva Shabdaha, Napumsake. When we look at that, then the very simple thing is that, so Prathama and Dvitiya, that's going to be like Jnanavat, like Jnanavat. And the Titiya Prabhuti, we like Pumvat. Pumvat means like the, it will be like the Sarvanam Shabda Sarva in the masculine. Jnanavat, Titiya Prabhuti, will be that Pullinga. Sarva Shabdavat Pullinge. Pullinga. Okay. So that's what it is. So when you take Sarva Shabda and the neuter, look at the first two, become Sarvam, Sarve, Sarvani. And Titiya Prabhuti will become like the Sarva Shabdavat Pullinge. So Sarvasmat, Sarvasmin, Sarva, Sarve, Sham, all those special forms become the saying will come over here. Okay? Now the one that we want to look at is another Sarvanama Shabdaha, which has a special form. Because honestly, this is not, but some of these are common. It comes in Gita, one place. So let's look at our Gita for today. Chetad vidmah kataranno gariyo, yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu. So we don't know which of the two is better, whether we should win or or they should conquer us. So yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu. This is what. So this word katarat. So no chetad vidmaha kataranno gariha. So what is better for us? Yadva jayema, whether we should win, or yadivano jayeyu, or they should conquer us. Right? This katarat. So this katarat is, when we saw this jnana shabdaha, or sarva shabdaha. I shouldn't say jnana, but this is a sarvanama shabdaha. Katarat means which one among two is katara. Katama is which one among many. Katama. So now let's quickly go and first of all look at this sarvadini sarvanamani. Sarvadini sarvanamani. Let's look at that list which is there. And you will see that there are these 5 words. I'm sorry, 120. Sarvadini sarvanamani. They are over here. And there you have this jatara, jatama. These two are there. And then you also have the itara, anya, anyatara. These are the rules. Pratyaya I should say. So these are 5 shabdas which are given in the sarvadini sarvanamani. Okay, and those are ones which take some special operations in the neuter. Okay, now out of these, the datara and datama, these are pratyayas. So it means that it was ending in those pratyayas. So ending in those pratyayas. So ending in pratyaya datara and datama. These are the ones that have this special operations. The what is datara datama, we don't have to go in details today. But there is these are what's called tadhita forms are derived from certain pradipadikams. They give derived forms, and that is what this datara and datama are talking about. Datara and datama. Okay? And if in 5.3 of Ashtadhyayi, 5.3, 92, 93, 94, we have some special rules which we won't go in detail today. But they talk about this 5.3. This one. See this one? Kim yattado nirdharane dvayorekasya datarach. Then again comes va bahunam jati pratiprashne datamachha. And ekacha pracham. So this 5.3, 92 to 94 is put in document. So 5.3, we don't need that right now. But that's how where this datara pratyaya is describes datara and datama. Okay. Now, which shabdas take that datara datama? Only kim yat tad. So katara, yatara, tatara. Okay. So these ones will get that. Now, here we have these. So what rule? Let's start with our basics. Our basically, let's do the pratipadikam katara. So katara plus our usual pratyaya su aujas. So let's look at su. Okay, this is our 412. And now we should have had our rule which said, the first samon napunsakat tasya pavadha atoam, which just saw. So it will become kataram. But that's not the form that we want. We want the form katarat. We want the form katarat. So the forms we would have normally used our 7125, but in 7124, sorry. Next rule is saying adad datara adibhya panchabhya. So these 5 shabdas, datara, datama, right, anya, itara, anyatara. These 5, Then take the adesha adad. Adad adesha. Adad. Now, this is of course halantyam. You remove the jakara. Only the ad remains. So the su and the take the adesha. Again, as you say, neuter means the prathama and the ditya, the form will be the same. So adad adesha. This is apavada for atom also. So all these words, this jataranta, gatamanta, then the itara, anya, anyatara, all ending in short a. So atom should have come in all these cases. But instead of that, this is a special form given. This other adesha is being done from these 5 shabdas. So we get now the 7.1. Let's look at the document also quickly. So from 7.125, it says, okay. So other dataradibhya panchabhya, ebhya klibebhya in the neuter only, klibebhya, because we are again the same anuvritti, samor napunsakat, anuvritti is coming from samor napunsakat. Samor adad adesha syat, the affixes tu and get adad as a replacement when they follow one of these 5 pronouns. So now we saw how katara is a shabda ending in the datara pratyaya, which we have not derived in detail, but the katara is ending in datara. So we get katara plus su, katara plus adad. Now this is, we did halantyam, we got the does and it. So what's the provision of that does and it? That's what we're going to define in the next sutra, which says achoantyaditi. Achoantyaditi. Again, this is a alpa sanya, the small sanya, which is done mainly by Panini most likely. It defines what is called a T bhaga, a T portion of any term, any set of sounds. We take the T bhaga. How do we define that? Acham madhye yo antyaha. Take the last ach of that term. Saha adiryasya. Starting from that. Tatti sanyam sa. So simply speaking, you take all the vowels in a particular term. Take the last of those vowels. Starting from that to the end of that term, yes, the T sanya. So now, right now, what do we have? We have katara. So it's these 3 akaras, the 3 achas over here. So we have First of all, let's finish this operation. Let's do this katara. Just this adad. So which we use 7.125 halantyam, which is 133. Okay, so ad. Now this pratyaya had does and it. Now the T bhaga of the angam is simply this akara over here, katara. That's what is happening here. But if you have a word, for example, if you have a word like tejas, the word like tejas, the T bhaga will be what? The ending as. There are 2 achas there, the A and the A. Start from the last ach, go to the end of the term. So the T bhaga of tejas will be as. Okay, if you word like urj, there's only 1 ach in there. If you start from that ach, go to the end. The T bhaga of urj is the entire term urj. So your simple rule is that take all the achas, find out the last one, start from there, go to the end of the term. It's a T bhaga. Okay? So by achuantyadi T, the T bhaga, the T of katara, the T of katara is simply the ending a, because there's nothing following that. Ending akara. Katat paschat kichidapi nasti. Akara. Okay. Now why do we need the T bhaga? That's the question. Because of the fact that sutram te 641 is sutram te. What does it say? Again, sutram te, we are in 64143. The sutram says Diti bhasya ter lokaha. Diti bhasya ter lokaha. Again, we got this bhasya. So look at what we have. We have the katara plus ad. This pratyaya is ajadi pratyaya. It doesn't have sarvanama sthana sanya. Sarvanamastana Sanya was only when the Shi Sarvanamasthanam. It's a neuter Pradipadikam. So only Shi Sarvanamasthanam. So this Ad does not have Sarvanamastana Sanya. It is Ajaja Pratyaha. So Yachibham, by Yachibham, that Katara gets the Bhasanya. So if the Angam has a Bhasanya, and the Pratyaya has this D as a, as an It, in that case it takes the T bhaga of the Angam takes Lopaha. So, Diti Bhasya Te Lopaha. Also very important sutram. We're going to see a lot of this going forward. All these are very important. When you look back and look at this class, you'll say, oh, these are all very, very important rules. Very important rules. So, Te here, say Diti Bhasya Te Lopaha. Nangam has the Bhasanya. Its T portion takes Lopaha. And followed by an affix that has D, Takar as an It letter. So from that, what happens is that that T bhaga takes Lopaha, and then we end up with so 64143, very famous sutram. So so now we get Katar plus Ad, Katar plus Ad, and that is 64143, and finally we get Katarad, Katarad is what we get. And of course, here we can do the Jalam Jashwante by 8239, and then by Vavasane we'll get the usual two forms, which is Katarat, Katarad. That's the usual thing. We don't write these most of the time, but it's understood. It's Jalam Jashwante and Vavasane. The sequence is understood. So we only write, the convention is only to put the Prathama Varnaha. But since Adesha was Ad, the Tritiya Varna, we have to put it back to, we have to give the more common form, Katarat, which is going to come as the alternative form when we apply Vavasane. So Katarad, this is by 8456 Vavasane. So that is what we have. So that is what we had here. A couple of quick questions on the side. Is why Panini brought to Ms. Adesha as, as other Adesha? Why didn't he, make the Adesha only Ad, the Ad Adesha? What do you think, Karthik? What's the answer for that?
Otherwise, Prathamaya of Purva Savarnaha would have applied.
Yeah, for Am is fine, because Ami Purva would have been okay in But when the Su Pratyaya in place of that, when you get the Adesha, in that case, then you have to, because you'll have Katara plus the Ad. So Atogune would have been what we want, but then overruling that, we would have had the Prathamaya Purva Savarnaha. It gives the wrong form. Okay? Why not make it just then? What do you think?
What is Sadaji? Why not make it?
Just a Dakaraha.
That would make it, yeah, that should work, I think.
No, because then, Engaswa Sambuddhe. So then if you just make it Dakar, then the Dakara will go out.
Okay.
You want He Katarat there also.
Okay.
So this is the shloka. So Litva Bhave Ami Siddhe Api. So even though Ami Purva will work, Stau Anishtam Prasajjate. We get the wrong form when the Pratyaya Su follows. Because if you just put the Adesha as Ad, then as Karthik said, Prathama Purva Suvarna, Prathama Yoha Purva Savarna would have come. And Dakare va Sambuddhau Tatsiti Kutaha. The Sambuddhi have a problem there. If you make it just Takara or Dakaraha Adesha, then in that case, we'll get the Eng Swa Sambuddhe will drop off. So what you want of this Katarat form is the same form Sambuddha. The same form Sambuddha. So this same okay. So here I'm still looking at the wrong place. This same form you're going to get in Sambuddha when you have Su plus the Katara plus Su. This in Sambuddhi, we get all the same operations. Nothing Sambuddhi. We get the same operations, which is also going to give Katarat. Okay, now the remaining forms will be same as the if you take the Sarva Shabdaha, you will get because we have Sarvam, Sarve, Sarvanya. This special form only came for this Su and other place. Other places will be the same form, which is Katarad then katare, katarani, and then when from you will take it titya prabhuti, you'll be like pumvat, you'll have the masculine forms. So that's what pinch katarat. Okay. Now we're done. We have a couple of minutes. Let me maybe introduce, for what you're going to do next time. Is that in fact we can do this one. Is the Prajabadikam Dvi. Prajabadikam Dvi. Dvi Prajabadikam is declined only in the Dvivachanam. So there's no other special rule. So we use Chadadina Maha. Dvi will become Dva. Okay, Dvi will become Dva. Savanama Shabda. It will only become Dve, Dve, remaining like same as masculine. Same as the masculine Dvi Shabda. So no special rules. So no special rules required for Dvi. No special rules required for Dvi in the neuter. We use the usual Sadani Namaha, the Dvi becomes Dva, and then same thing within the masculine becomes Dve, Dve, and then Prathama and Dvitiya Dvivachanam. Nitya Dvivachananta Shabda. So it only we can take Dvivachanam only because it's a Sabhava the Shabda, Sabhavat. And if you take the Prajabadikam 3, then, there also, these 3 Prajabadikam, when we had, they also will really not need any special form. When we add 3 plus jas or shas, we get the usual jas so shi adeshaha. You get sarvanamastana sanya, and we get the num agamaha napumsaka and you get the savanamastane shasam buddhau. Come trini. And remaining will be just like the masculine, the tribhi, sayanam tissue. So let's do that much, and then we will, I think, stop for the day for this section. So if we just take the Prajabadikam 3, because this is also Nitya Bhavachana Shabdaha, Bhavachananta Shabdaha. We take just or shas, then what we're going to get is again the just Shoshi, which we saw. So we're going to get 3 plus shas, which we just saw right now. 3 plus shas, the thing is what, 7, 120, right? 7, 120. 3 plus shas, 7, 120, 1, 155, 7, 120, 1, 155. So nothing, basically no new rules. We don't know new rules. 1, 155, Anekashi Sarvasya. Then we, of course, she. Okay, she. And then we take Lashav Kataditeya, and we get this Numu Agamaha, Napumsakasya Lachaha, because it's also ending in a Ach, the Ikaraha. So we become Midashwantyataraha. Same as we did before, we get 3 plus E, because we got Napumsakasya Lachaha along with the Midashwantyataraha. And of course, the Shakvatadite, remove the it letter for the she. And then Savanamastane Chasam Buddhau. Savanamastane Chasam Buddhau. And of course, she Savanamasthanam, we can use that also. And it's because she Savanamasthanam is in this same section. She Savanamasthanam. We also use that because to use the Savanamastane Chasam Buddhau, we need to 1142. So on 1142, we now make it 3, and so 3, and then ni. So here we use the 1142, Shi Sarvanamasthanam. Also use the 648, Sarvanamasthanam Chasam Buddhau. And finally, of course, you Atkupwang. The Nimittam is the Repa there, only the E is intervening, which is an At. Atkupwang Yung Bhavaya P. So it becomes 3, I'm sorry, I put the wrong thing here, 3, excuse me. So, okay, let me put 3, ni, and make it 3, ni. Okay, 3, ni, 842. 842. So that will complete. So we get, so 3, ni, then Tribhya, all the same. Prayanam, and Trishu. Remaining is like the masculine. Tritiya onwards will be no special form, the same as the masculine. Okay, so next time what we'll start with the Vari Shabdaha. Next time we'll start with Vari plus Su. At that time we'll be using only one form. We'll just finish the Vari plus Su when we do. So we will do this in detail next time. So here we'll be using the Samo Napunsakat. Samo Napunsakat Luksyat. Sutram which we did not use today. Because today we got the Apavadaha Atom. Atom Apavadaha we got today. But next time will be when we do Vari Shabdaha. Will not be ending in short A. So we will be using this Samo Napunsakat 7123. Will become Vari. So that's what we'll start with next time. So we'll get 7123. Because Atom only came because Adantam Angam. Vari ends in E. So we have to use the Samo Napunsaka 7123 and we will get Vari. So Su or either one of those, and we have Su or we will get Vari. Okay, we'll take that next time. Okay, forgot to announce today is October 23. This was the first session from 2:30 to 4 o'clock, and we did mainly the Jnana Shabdaha. We did Katara, Pradivadikam, Napusakalinge, and because Katara was a pronoun, it goes in all three genders. And we also did the Dvi and 3, Napusakalinge, Vishesha Niyamana Santi, no special rules. Finally introduced, we just started with Vari. The Ikaranta Shabdaha we started Napusakalinge, only did the Prathama Dvitiya Ekvachanam. So again, October 23rd, this is the first session, 2:30 to 4. We'll come back in 20 minutes for the Ramayana. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Vihata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bho Ramama Mudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane Shri Ramanama Varanana Onnam.